Let's wait for Maltosio and Elliot and Zoe and Marie.
We can hear you.
Yes, I am unmuted.
Marie, not Marie. Ah, Birgit is there. Ok. Vas-y, fais le countdown.
Le what?
Fais le countdown. Tu fais le countdown. Ouais, vas-y.
Ok. 3, 2, 1. Santé!
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 In France, it's very important that you look at each other in the eyes when you cheers. So right now it's very hard. I don't know who to look at.
You can look directly into the camera. Like that.
All right, I will share my screen. Share screen.
I will listen.
Dis-moi quand tu le vois.
That's okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yes.
Awesome. So Adeline made a very nice poster about what we will learn today. So there will be 3 people talking. I will start and talk a little bit about my own language experience, and then it will be Zana, and then Zane, and Delyash. Sorry for the names.
It's fine.
Here, I'll let you read this slide just for a second about why is it good to learn languages. Also beautifully made by Adeline. Et du coup, je peux pas regarder mon écran Zoom, ah ouais, quand je partage mon écran. No? Okay. Let me know when you're all ready and we can start. Maybe I can change slide.
I'm ready.
Elliot is ready.
My Wi-Fi is shit, she said.
I think Birgit is gone.
She can listen to us. Is everyone fine with the fact that we're recording the tandem?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yes.
Good.
Okay, so today we had the idea of doing the tandem, but without muting the mic, because when we actually meet in real for tandems, we don't mute people and unmute them. There is more natural interaction, so we thought today we would try to do the same, because it's a little bit awkward sometimes to talk through a screen and we don't hear the reaction of people. We cannot hear if the people are laughing or like reacting to something, and it makes it feel very strange. I think you all have this experience. So today let's unmute the mic and don't hesitate to react and interact and ask questions like in a normal conversation, but just be careful to not like, have your phone in the background like ringing or something, of course. Does that sound good for everyone?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course.
Sure, awesome. I cannot see your faces, so I don't know if you can hear me or not. So it's important. Thank you. All right, so I will start the conversation. Today, we are going to talk about languages and about different experiences we all had with languages. My particular experience with languages started when I went to China. I moved to China in 2014 and I lived there 5 years. So tonight I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about my experience there. Can you all see my screen? Yeah?
Yes.
Cool. So when I was in China, I lived in the city called Chengdu. Has anyone heard of Chengdu before, apart from when I told you about it?
No.
No.
I'm not sure.
There are many pandas there.
You're not sure?
I think I did. I'm not really sure if it was about the town or some character from Kung Fu Panda, but
Oh, it's good that you mentioned this because Kung Fu Panda, it was the scenes, the landscape was based from Chengdu.
Oh, really?
So that's why.
She said something.
Oh, Delia, she said something?
It's known for like pandas.
Yes, that's why there's a picture of panda on my screen. It's because it's actually the birthplace of pandas. There are still a few pandas in the wild there. It's very rare. And there's also a breeding center. So they try to increase the panda population there, and they have programs to release pandas in the wild and try to rehabilitate them in the wild in the future. So if ever you go there, make sure you go to the panda breeding center because you can see adult pandas, but also baby pandas, and they are very cute. Very, very cute. Okay. So every time I talk about Chengdu, people don't know where it is. So I thought it would be a little bit helpful to have a map, something visual for people to picture where Chengdu is. So as you can see on this map, this is the map of China. It's very big and it looks like a rooster. Chinese people are very proud of the fact that the shape of the country is like a rooster. I don't know if you can see it.
yeah.
There's the head with the beak on the right, and then the body and the tail. Like a chicken. It looks like a chicken.
Okay.
And Japan is on the right of China, and it's very small because it's a string of islands. So they say it looks like a little worm. So it's the chicken eating the worm.
Oh.
And they are very proud of that. So Chengdu, yes?
It's very nice to be a chicken.
Especially a very big chicken like this.
Exactly.
So Chengdu is in the orange section, and it's actually quite far away from Beijing and Shanghai, which are on the coast. It's actually a little bit closer to the Tibetan area, which is on the left, as you can see with Lhasa. So when I was in Chengdu, especially when I arrived there was not that much of a big foreign community or international influence. So there are not so many people who can speak English. It's still a quite traditional local place. Even though it's a big city, actually it's the 7th largest city of China, and now there are 16 million people living there. So it's very big, but still it's not very international. Now it is, now in 2020 it is, but when I arrived in 2014, not so much. Can I move on from this slide, or does anyone want to say something or read something?
It's okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, stranger. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Okay, so when I went to China, I started to teach English, which sounds very weird when you're someone from France going to China to teach English. It doesn't make much sense. But I got there and I started this job as an English teacher, and actually became a senior teacher after 5 years. And when I was there, I was actually teaching FLE. Does anyone know what FLE means?
Yeah, like a French foreign language.
Yes, exactly. FLE means French foreign language. That's why when you want to learn French, usually you will look for FLE courses. And then I was actually teaching EFL and not ESL. This is about English. Does anyone know the difference between EFL and ESL?
Like first language and second language?
Almost. ESL is English as a second language, yes. But EFL, it's not first language.
Foreign language.
Yeah, it's foreign language. So does anyone know the difference between what English as a foreign language is and English as a second language?
Like I'm Italian and I speak English, so I'm an English foreign language because it's not my second language. But if I had English background or like I was from Singapore, I've had second language. Is it?
Yes, it's very similar. So here it's in the context of teaching or learning. When you are a student, let's say you are a Chinese student and you are living in England and you are learning English, you become an ESL student because you are learning a language from the country you are living in at the moment. So your background around you is English, so it becomes a second language. But if you are a Chinese student in China, around you, the language is not English, it's Chinese. So if you take classes of English, it's a foreign language, not a second language. So this is the distinction, and it's very important if ever you look for classes or teaching jobs somewhere, the difference between EFL and ESL. So in my context, I was an EFL teacher, and I underwent a certification, so a training called the TEFL. Maybe some of you have heard of it. The TEFL is a teaching English as a foreign language certification that anyone can take. You can take it online or face-to-face, and basically it's 120 hours of courses to understand how to teach English as a foreign language. So I did this when I joined my company called I2, as you can see on this little picture. Maybe you can spot me.
Yeah.
Second
one on the right, right?
Yes, I have the same hair, but the face is very Photoshop. So, so when I did this certification and these trainings, it was really interesting, and I learned a lot about teaching styles. So it helped me to teach, but also about learning styles, which helped me understand my students better, but also myself. And we thought with Adeline that it would be interesting for you guys to also learn a little bit about your own learning style. So I have a little quiz that you can do right now online. We can take 5 minutes all to do it. I will share the link right now. Sorry. I will share the link in the group chat.
Okay. Yep.
And you guys can all do it. It takes less than 5 minutes, and then we can all kind of say what is your learning style and talk about it. Okay, the link is in the chat. So it's called Talk in French, but it's not in French, it's in English, so don't worry. So when you go on the link, there would be a pop-up. Here it says, what's your learning style? Start the quiz, and you can start the quiz. There are 10 questions. Fais-le, hein?
Okay. So.
We will put some music in the background while you do the quiz.
Yeah. Okay.
No, Papa. Ivan, are you doing the quiz?
Yes, Sophie.
I think Claudia is not doing it.
Yeah, because Claudia doesn't have
Double
access
check.
to Zoom.
King.
I sent the link directly to her WhatsApp.
Oh, ok. Tu l'as fait?
On va le faire, je comprends pas. C'est de l'anglais, frère.
Mais pourquoi? Pourquoi je peux pas voir l'écran de mon Zoom et mon PPT en même temps? Tu vois, il faut que j'aille là et je fasse ça. C'est chiant.
Je me mets là. Tu vois, tu vois.
Ouais. Et du coup, je vois pas, c'est quelqu'un qui veut parler. Tu vois. Mais comment ils peuvent entendre si ton micro est coupé? Comment ils peuvent entendre la musique si ton micro est coupé?
Donc, le micro est ouvert.
Okay, when you are done with the quiz, you can write in the chat what's your result. Like, for example, I am a visual learner, so I will write visual learner. Oh, Birgit is here.
Yes, I am. Sometimes I try to. I can try if now it's better. I put on my video again, but.
What is like here?
Ce qui est le plus probable. Okay, Birgit, visual learner. Mandy, visual learner. Johnny, visual learner. Elliot, Adeline, don't have.
I try to understand.
Daylash, auditory.
Everybody's visual.
Yes, actually, there is the research done, and actually the majority of people are visual learners. So it's not surprising that those results are not surprising here. A lot of people are visual learners. Jesus, visual. Actually, Dela, she's auditory, but she sent the message to me, so you cannot see it. But she is the only auditory of the, of the group. So it's important to mention.
What is a Q?
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 Un indice.
Are there any other types except like vision?
Yes, I will, once everyone is done, I can show you. Actually, I will just do it now while people are finishing. So here I have a little explanations of the 4 main types of learners. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So the majority of people are visual learners, just like me and most of you. And usually visual learners, they need more visual support to retain information. So like, for example, writing on a whiteboard, in having pictures, a lot of colors, and it needs to be clear visual support. Like, for example, me, when I learn from a textbook, whenever I try to remember what I've learned, I can visualize the word in my textbook on the page, exactly where it is and how I wrote it and with which color. I don't know if this happens to some of you sometimes. Yes, no?
Yes. For me, yeah.
Yeah, Birgit, yes, you can see your words
Yeah.
in your notebook. Dailesh, your auditory learners are, as it's said, more inclined to understand better when they have to listen. So it can be some music, or like, you know, when you record a session or a podcast and then you listen to it, and as you listen, you retain more of this information. Do you feel like it's accurate, Dailesh? Do you think that you are more auditory?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know who's talking in the background. Antonio, ta gueule.
I'm an auditory.
Can you hear us fine? Can you hear us fine?
What?
We're having problems. Can you hear us?
Yes, we can.
Very good. Sorry.
Okay, Elliot is auditory learner too. The people who are visual learners, do you agree with the results? Do you feel like you're more visual? Can any of you give examples if you have some?
Not really, actually.
No?
No, like, I don't know, there's something that doesn't fit me, really. I don't see myself as visual. Like,
Okay.
I don't know.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know how I got visual, because I don't think like visual.
Do you write a lot to remember things?
I just write, yeah. When I need to learn something, yeah, like languages, I do write a lot. But
okay.
I'm not the kind that goes and reads it all the time. Like I just read it just because I want to know if I remember correctly what I just learned. It's more like taking notes more.
Yes.
I don't know. I feel there's something. Maybe I'm just off visual, off auditory, because I like to listen a lot more than taking notes. Maybe I take notes on what I heard, on what I hear. I don't know. Maybe I'm halfway. I don't know. Maybe it's just beer.
We all have a little bit of everything in us. Like, there's not just one kind of learning. Everyone is applying different kind of techniques. It's just usually you have a predominance. Usually some people are very balanced, so it could be your case. But anyway, this is just a small quiz to make it very short for the tandem. But if you guys are interested in learning more about you and about your learning style, there are so many tests online that are a lot longer, like with 20 to 50 questions. So just look online if you're interested. And for people like Mustafa, if it's hard for you to find it in English, there are also tests in your own language that you can find, or in Italian, in French. So if you are interested, you can always ask us for more links. Adeline has a good one. Or you can just look on Google. How about you, Madi? I heard you said something.
That I think I identify more with the kinesthetic learner, because I think I definitely need to do something in order to learn something, like to practice it. It's better for me. It fits better. Yes, it's different rather than visual.
Okay. Did someone
actually saw that thing?
Okay. Did someone get kinesthetic learner? Kinesthetic learner?
Nope.
No?
Me, I got auditor learners.
Auditory learner.
Yeah.
So more of listening, like podcasts.
Yeah, like me.
Or
Yeah.
you
What
record things.
I write, I can't remember, but what I hear, I remember. I can.
Ah, good.
The difference.
So for you, a kinesthetic learner is a learner who has to combine movements while learning. So it's usually people who learn through doing things like or dancing, or they have to walk around while they are talking out loud about something and reading their notes. So it's usually combining movements with the learning process, and that's how it helps. So Maddie maybe thinks she's more like this. Does anyone think they are more of a kinesthetic learner? You can say or raise your hand.
Mm.
Mustafa?
I understand more when I do a theater. I speak with the movement, and I
Yes.
learn some language with the movement, moving my hand, moving my face, my eyes. I can talk the person who is in front of me.
Okay, cool. Johnny, you want to say something? We cannot hear you. No, it's not working. Actually, we were talking about this with Adeline, and she was mentioning the theater and how people, when they want to learn a play for a role in the theater, they often move around the stage with their notes to recite and to learn. So I think kinesthetic probably is very good for theater and learning plays. In my notes here, I also have an independent learner, which was not in the test, but independent learning is basically just you learn better on your own and focusing on your own than in a group. These learning styles, they are very, very, oh, Ivan is kinesthetic. Thank you, Ivan. These learning styles, they are very, very interesting to know when you are teaching to someone. When I was teaching to my students, it was really, really useful for me to try to understand their learning style and adapt to them to have the best teaching experience. And it was very interesting because sometimes you have different kinds of learning styles in one class, and it's always hard to adapt. But whenever you learn a language, you can try to remember what works best for you and find the tips to learn. And if ever you are in the position of teaching, also try to keep in mind that the learning style of the person in front of you might help you having a successful class. So if you have a visual learner in front of you, make sure to use a whiteboard and write. If you have an auditory learner, maybe tell the person to record and listen to the lesson. If you have a kinesthetic learner, maybe do an act out activity. There are so many different kind of ways of doing it. Okay, do you guys have any questions about this or want to add something? No? Adeline, you are mute.
Someone was in the same. Yeah.
Oh, someone in the house. Johnny, sorry, we can still not hear you.
Can you not hear me? No?
Oh, yes.
No, yeah, it's okay now.
Now we can.
I don't know what happened.
You wanted to say something?
For me, the visual learner is very true. I learned from watching other things, YouTube videos and stuff. But with languages, it's very auditory. I would find it easier listening to things than seeing.
Yeah, sometimes depends on what you learn, you will use a different way of learning as well. Like if you want to learn how to build an IKEA shelf, maybe you don't want to read the stuff and you will go on YouTube and watch a tutorial. So it will be more visual. Okay, I will move on to give more time to the others. Can you guys see my screen?
Yay.
Yes, okay. So I told you about the learning styles and the way I was teaching, but as I was in China, I didn't know Chinese. So I also had to learn. As I was teaching English, I also had to learn Chinese. And learning Chinese is not easy. And many times people ask me why China and why Chinese. Actually, Birgit asked me this. That's why I wrote this slide. And the reason I started to learn Chinese, well, of course, I really like learning languages. I try to learn as many as I can, because for me, languages is a big open door to understanding cultures. But when I was in China, it was also out of obligation for survival. Because as I told you, in Chengdu, not many people can speak English. So if I don't speak Chinese, I cannot eat, I cannot buy anything, I cannot go anywhere. So I had to. I want to give you a few examples of what it was like for me and quite the situations I faced at the beginning, such as this one. Can anyone guess what this is?
A menu, but
this is a Chinese food menu. And it's just like that. There are no pictures, there's no English word, and you enter the restaurant and you're facing this. What do you do?
Just watch it.
Leave the restaurant.
Just what?
Be on diet.
Yeah. You lose a lot of weight on your first few months in China, that's for sure. Until you find the first McDonald's, and then you're safe. The strategy is usually we would just point at there will be like 5 photos in the menu, and we will just always point at the same, hoping it would be something nice, and it's never something nice. It's always too spicy or some weird meat that you don't know what it is. It's not beef, it's not pork, you don't know. So in order to eat, it was a really good motivator for me to learn Chinese, and especially I started to learn the words for the restaurant. So I would take a picture of that and then go to a teacher and ask them, what's this, what's that, and I would learn them by heart. And then I would go to the restaurant and order. At first I would just point at the things. There would be no exchange of word with the person, it's just this. Goodbye. And that's all. And then after a while you learn, but it is, I think, the most challenging thing when you come to China is ordering something from the restaurant, because it's just so weird.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Sophie, did you have any problem with the tones? Because I think that Chinese is a language that has different tones, and that doesn't happen with English or French. So did you have any problem with that?
Yes. Actually, yeah, in Chinese, there are 4 tones. So when you want to say a word, you have to be careful on how you say it. And I had a lot of problems. I still have problems with this. I think it's one of the most difficult thing to master for the language. Because, you know, tones, they are very specific to a language. And if you don't develop them when you're a baby, in your mouth, with the shape of your tongue and your palate, it's forever going to be very hard for you to make them. And this was the case for me, and also because I cannot even hear them, the difference. It's very hard. Yeah. I can show you later some tones. I wrote some in the next slide. You also have to learn Chinese in order to go home and to get around, because Chengdu is a very big city, and the main way of transportation is to take a taxi or Uber or Didi. Didi is the Chinese version of Uber. And you cannot recognize your home because all the buildings are the same, and there are millions of buildings. So you have to learn your address. And you see this very long sentence, it was my address. And I had to say this in order to go home. Does anyone want to try to read this?
No.
No.
3738.
There is one character I know, which is Ren. It's like person.
Yes.
It's on the second line.
Where is Ren?
No, or it's not Ren.
Which one?
It's like, it looks like a person like with hands. And
no, this one is Da. It's not Jen.
Okay.
I will show you Jen later. I have it on the other slide, but it's almost the same. So going home was always the craziest, most difficult thing to do, because I would just have the address sent to me on my phone, and I would just go in the taxi and show my phone and then he will take me there. And after a while, I started to learn by heart my address and just say it and say it and say it until they finally understood me, and I knew it by heart. I think I still know that one by heart because it was so stuck in my mind. But I would always be so proud of myself when I would go out at night and get so wasted. And then the next day I would be in my bed and I wonder how I did to get a taxi and tell them in Chinese where I live. That was my biggest accomplishment in China.
They have the same door, the same window.
Yeah, everything the same. It's so hard to, you don't know where you are. It's very hard.
Even some symbol is not there.
But I cannot, at first I couldn't recognize if you see a shop and you see the name, you think, oh, okay. But all the shops, they have Chinese words and I couldn't understand. So I couldn't, at first it's very hard to find the referring points, So it was very hard at the beginning, but I managed. I never ended in the wrong home. Not once, so.
Can you say it?
Can you say it? Can you read it for us?
I can try. The first two is Chengdu. Chengdu 是天台路30尺好大的脚尖。玉府花都 H 是山东4 2 701。
Brava.
Very cute. I'm happy there's no Chinese in the group to tell me it's wrong. So to order food is a little bit difficult to get home, and I thought I could rely on my hands to talk because like in Italy, people use their hands a lot, and sometimes, sign language is universal, but not in China. In China, the way they count with their hands is also different. So I also had to learn this. So I give you an example of 4 numbers here on the screen. You guys can try to guess what they are.
This is number 6.
No.
No? Oh.
Jesus, the number is
2.
No. This number is number 8.
Wow.
Okay.
Which one?
This
one. The last one.
The second one.
This one is 10.
Yes. This cross one, I show you on the screen with my camera. This one is 10. You are right. It's quite easy. You can
the first one is 5.
No, 5 is just that.
Okay.
So basically, if you do 1
Can
to
you
5,
hear us now?
What?
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Yes.
Because I said 8 and I know all the others.
He wants to show up.
Yeah.
So
Good
Antonio,
nerd, the good nerd.
Antonio, you can tell us what's this one?
That one is
That's 6.
Yes, this one is 6.
Good job.
What's this one?
The ideogram. Not because I know this. I know the ideogram.
You know the idiot one? What?
This one is 9.
Yes, 9.
And 10.
10. Yes, very good. So it goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 7, 8, 9, 10.
You use numbers higher than 10. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, and then you start 11.
Yeah. 11, 12, 13. Yes. You can go on and go on. So it was always challenging for me at first to pay because I didn't know the numbers and I thought I could do just 6 or 7 and the cashier would be, and I didn't understand what she wanted. She was just doing this thing. And I was like, what is that? So I quickly learned this very fast because I had to do it, especially the old people in China, they would use these hand signs a lot. So it's something very useful to learn if ever you go to China. Try to learn this sign language for numbers. It's very, very useful. How did you learn, Antonio?
Because I studied Japanese.
Oh, Japanese.
And they share some of the ideograms. So I recognize the numbers there.
Okay. Yes.
Those are the
Actually, Chinese and Japanese, they share a lot of characters because Japanese is based on Chinese characters and then they changed a little bit, but a lot of the characters are the same. The characters are those things here that you can see next to the pictures. I highlight in blue right now. Okay, this is the very difficult part to learn about the Chinese language because having characters is very, very difficult. So one thing that helps is when you read characters, you can also learn the pinyin next to it. The pinyin is basically the alphabet. And this really, really helps. This is how I learned first. I learned with the pinyin.
With pinyin, I understand, like, it's like, I am French.
Yes. So this sentence that you can see here, 我是法国人, it means I am a French person. So here you have the Jean Deliage. And this is how I learned how to say the word. And then you connect with the character. It's a little bit like Russian. You have the different 2 kind of alphabets that you can connect together. And as you can see here, Jesus, you have the tones with the different accents.
Oh, okay.
Each accent is a tone. So by learning the pinyin, you learn the tone, and then you will know how to pronounce it well. But it's quite hard.
Yeah.
So yeah, to understand the characters in the pinyin is the best way to learn, but also understanding that the grammar and the sentence structure in the language is very different. Like for example, in Chinese, there is no conjugazione. So the verb is just a verb. There is no difference for past or present or I or you. It's all the same. So it makes it easier. And another thing is that it's very important to understand the culture as well, because each culture has a different way of understanding and seeing the world. So obviously the way they're going to express themselves is going to be different. And this is very important when you are learning a language. Like in Italy, they have a different way to relate to things. And when you learn a word like cazzo, you know that it's not only an insult, it's just the way they talk here. For example, in China, when you sneeze, they don't have a translation to say bless you or salute. They don't care about this. It's not in their culture to tell you something about sneezing. For them, sneezing is disgusting. So there's no translation. It does not exist for bless you, for example. Okay, I move on quickly. I just give you a little activity before I give the way. How can they do it right on the screen?
Anota, with Anota.
I wrote 4 different characters, and you guys can try to write one. Choose the one you want, and you can try to write it if you want, and see how you do. The 2 on the left are a little bit easier, and the 2 on the right are a little bit more difficult, sorry.
It doesn't let me annotate.
No, they need to give forward.
You take it off.
I don't know how.
Permission to do it.
Neither, so I don't know.
Okay, well, I don't know. Tu mets une page blanche, peut-être?
Maybe we can do it on a piece of paper and just show it to the camera.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good idea, good idea.
Let's do the old-fashioned way.
Old-fashioned way.
T'en choisis un et tu l'écris et tu le montres à l'écran. Putain, il est déjà
They're not the Lamani.
I think I did.
Do you want?
No, forgot.
Nice.
The whiteboard is.
Did you see?
No. Cool. Mustafa. Nice, Simon. You wrote Liu, which is 6.
Oh.
Oh, no. This is 9, sorry. It was a 6. You is 6.
Okay.
You see now.
Yes.
Maybe more closer. No.
Nice, Ivan. Joe, number 9. Wo for Deliash. I have to go by. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Roberta.
Oh,
Good job, Adeline.
How much is it?
Simone, you wrote
Sophie.
Fagwo. Good. Oh, Jesus, sorry. Matera, Mustafa, I cannot see.
Now?
Oh, this means I. This means yo.
Ah, oh, io.
Yes, wo, yo. Okay. Well, you guys can have fun and practice. I will leave the stage to Zane. Sorry, I cannot say this name. But just to give you one last tip, the things that really helped me to learn Chinese in China, there was a lot of different things, but for sure, my students, because they are kids, I learned a lot from them because they speak Chinese and they are learning Chinese too at the same time. So it's a really great way for me to learn. And I really put myself out there. Like, I really try to order food and to learn the address and to just interact with people. I traveled a lot too, so it really helped me to, I had to speak Chinese, but also it's really a long-term commitment and I had to study. And this is one thing that you can keep in mind with this, is that to learn Chinese, you just have to study. Otherwise, it's way too hard. All right, thank you. I will leave Zane speaking.
Okay, I will just share the screen. Okay. So can you see the screen? Is it
Not
good?
yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. No. What? Just a moment. Now, do you see it?
Nope.
No.
Hmm. Now is it good?
Nope.
No. What is the problem?
Yes.
Yes. Now it's good. Okay. I don't know. The connection just got very bad the moment I wanted to share the screen. Let me know if maybe you cannot hear me, or you know that the audio is very bad. So my name is Zane. I was a volunteer in Matera already 1 year and a half ago. And I'm here today to talk to you about my experiences living abroad and how that helped me to learn different languages. Yeah, so I will start. So when I was 16, I decided to participate in this international program called AFS. I don't know if you've heard of it. Yeah, it's for high school students. And yeah, so that was the first experience for me living abroad, far from my family, friends, in a foreign country for 3 months. I lived in an Italian host family. I went to Italian school. And yeah, this is the first time I actually learned Italian, because before I arrived in Italy, I just knew few words. So when I was there, I was always in my pocket dictionary, trying to understand what people are talking. And because I was really like this, I jumped in Italian culture immediately. So I really had to adapt quickly. But it was a very great experience. And actually, this program really, how to say, opened me doors to another projects later on, because during high school, I kept looking for opportunities to go abroad for some short-term projects and things like that. So I participated in exchange projects like Comenius, Youth in Action. Those are European projects, and they last like few days, a week maximum, and you go somewhere abroad where you meet other students, other high school students your age, and you work on a project. And of course, you also have a time to visit the city. And yeah, it was a great opportunity to have this exchange experience. And most of the times, of course, we were speaking English. But yeah, it was really the moment when I started to get interested in languages. And also after this first time in Italy, when I went there, when I came back home, I tried not to lose the language. I kept watching Italian movies. I kept reading and things like that. And yeah, actually, all my life has been very related to languages, because I studied for my bachelor of philology. Do you know what is philology?
No.
Yeah.
What is philology?
Theology.
Is it?
No, philology.
Is it about the formation of words? It has something to do with words, like, right?
Works?
What words. Do you mean with words?
Words. Yeah. It's like a study of language.
It's related to languages.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I did my bachelor in philology, and it was like, of course, also the literature and translation and everything related to language.
Nice.
And then after my first year, I decided to go to the United States, to San Francisco, to go on a work and travel program, just for 3 months. And yeah, it was my first work experience, and it was abroad. And like a first real work experience. And yeah, it was very great. But I would say that in terms of language, since we were like Latvian people living together there. Most of the time we were like, we used to stick together, so we were doing things together. So maybe we didn't meet that many like local people. So it's also my advice to every language learner, try to stick with locals. So it's the best way to learn the language, and maybe not to spend so much time with like with people from your country. And but that was that. And then the summer after, I went to Spain as an au pair. Yeah, I was there for 2 months, and my main duty was to spend the day with a little girl, to babysit her. But I had to, all the time I had to speak English. So I had to organize games, activities, everything in a fun way. So she learned some language, and she's entertained at the same time. And then we had like this deal with the family that in the evening, when the parents came back home, they spoke to me all the time in Spanish, so I can learn Spanish. So it was like a culture language exchange. It was like a win-win for me and for them. And yeah, I was very lucky because they were very wonderful people, and I learned a lot of Spanish, and I hope also the little girl she'll learn some English. Yeah, the au pair is really a great way to learn the language. I would suggest to everyone to do it, but you have to be lucky with the family, because I have heard also some not so good stories. Yes. So you never know. But for me, it was a very great experience. And then I went on Erasmus. So Erasmus in Italy. I went to Italian university. I had most of the classes were in Italian. So yeah, it was a great way to learn like this formal Italian, and because before I was more used to like Italian, like to use it daily and stuff, but the university is a bit different, you know. And then I also went on Erasmus the year after. For half semester, I went to France, to Grenoble. Oh. And yeah, and yeah, it was also great. I really liked the campus, the university there. And also the classes were in French, and actually, since I knew French before, I learned it at university as one of the languages, but it was always like this formal setting. And actually, when I went to Grenoble, it was the first time I lived in France for a longer time. And yeah, it was the moment when I started to really speak French, because I was forced to do that. And because in France, if you don't speak French, it's quite hard to to survive. Yeah, and I don't know what's the bad quality, but yeah, it's good. I just wanted to show this picture. It was the beginning of the Tandem night. We started to organize it. How it looked. So nice. Yeah. People together. Yeah. Playing some games, and yeah, those were some good memories. We had this idea to do it, to animate more Matera, to gather people who are interested in languages, because it's true that like the idea of Tandem night, you can go to Tandem nights usually in the cities where a lot of students. For example, where I live right now in Montpellier in France, we also have like not currently, of course, because of the lockdown, but until October there were also these so-called Tandem nights, and there were so many people and students, so they came a lot. So yeah, I think it's great, this all this concept. And yeah, at the same time, I wanted to say about languages that yeah, it maybe I did these experiences abroad, and it was great to learn languages, and like a little, you know, being abroad and gaining these experiences. But languages have also been very useful for me in terms of work. because for example, I used Italian, and yeah, most of it was Italian and second language English when I worked for Norwegian Airlines as a customer service representative. So I had to consult the clients in Italian and English. So it was also a great, valuable experience. And also currently I use languages. I work like a freelancer for one translation office. So also there, it's very useful to know the languages, and I think it's there are possibilities. And yeah, and what I'm doing right now. So I live in Montpellier in France. I'm here for my master's studies. I study sustainable tourism. And yeah, this is how I decided to kind of to connect my degree in philology with something different, but still, which I think fits quite well, like languages and tourism. So yeah, now I'm here, and yeah, because in tourism, I think knowing languages is it's a big advantage that is very, very useful. So yeah, that's my story. And yeah, do you have any questions or?
Yeah. So well, you're Latvian, right?
Yeah.
Well, how many languages do you speak right now? Like, I just counted 5. Is it?
Yeah, it's 5. Yeah.
Whoa. Cool.
But it's also, and one thing I want to also emphasize, that once you learn like a language that like a Romance language, which is very like similar to other Romance languages, Latin languages, it gets easier. Sometimes it's very confusing, but for me, I started with Italian as the first Romance language,
yeah.
And then I started French, and already the basics of French were very easy for me, because I could really use my Italian knowledge Italian language skills, and so also Spanish. It was also kind of easy, but also confusing because of Italian. So yeah, it's an advice. More languages actually you speak, better you understand how it works. You can make connections in your head and everything, because it's always, I think, harder to learn the first foreign language, but when you learn the second, third, of course you will confuse a lot, but still you will have these interconnections. Yeah, you will understand better, like the structure and everything, and yeah, memorize the words.
It's weird you said it was easy for you to speak French because of Italian. Because I've been to the same place. I've been to Grenoble as well for 1 month.
Oh,
and
okay.
It was totally a mess speaking French.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed the fact that Sophie had problems in China, because it was the same feeling I had in Grenoble.
Simone, for me, it's also difficult to learn Italian, and I'm French, but I also find it more difficult to learn Italian in a way, because it's so similar that I feel like my brain is not making the effort enough to remember. So I understand how you feel. I don't know if it's because it's a short time for you, 1 month. Maybe it's too short. And me, it's only 2 months here. I hope it's because it's the short time, and it will get better.
I had the same feeling with Spanish when I started. When I started studying, it was confusing to me because of Italian structure that is completely different for Spanish.
Maybe you have advice, Zane, on how to master the Roman languages.
How to master, but it depends. Like in your situation, you already, like, maybe for me it's different because my mother tongue is not a Latin language. So I don't know, like, yeah, because for you it's like you already, when you, I can imagine if you see like a Latin language, which is not Italian or French, you can already by reading understand a bit, right? Like this, yeah. So yeah, I don't know really. because
sometimes it can be interesting to see how your brain reacts to a language that is similar and how it reacts to a language that is completely different. And sometimes you are surprised with the outcome.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, for example, as for me, like people always ask me, do I speak Russian? But I don't speak Russian. For me, Russian feels it's like super hard, and I rather speak all these Latin languages, which are even like geographically speaking, they are completely not even close. But yeah, since I'm more used to them, then yeah, it works better for me. Yeah, it's interesting because it's like this also this subject of this topic of cross-linguistic influence. Have you heard of it?
No.
Yeah, it's like when you speak a language or you learn a language, you mix it with other languages.
Yeah.
And actually, I wrote my it's not like a thesis, but like the final work for my bachelor studies about it. And yeah, it's actually when you record like a person speaking, like speaking in French or in any other language, which is not their mother tongue, you can, after when you listen again to the recording, you can notice many these like kind of words they borrow from other languages because they think that they will fit, or maybe they make a new words based on other languages they know, because they think, oh, maybe this word will also work in French, but no, it's actually, it doesn't exist in French. So yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah, languages and everything. So
yeah, once I said like la roba and I meant like dress. And Italian said me like, we don't say la roba. Maybe it's in Mazarine dialect it exists, but like in proper Italian it doesn't.
Yeah.
But it could mean roba. It could mean drugs.
Yeah,
Could
also.
mean. If someone wants to understand it, they could. Yeah.
Oh.
Like stuff.
Oh my god, it's like in Latvia we have this store, it's like super popular, it's like this store where they sell beauty products, it's called Drogas. And we had this Spanish teacher who arrived for the first day. He arrived in Latvia and he saw like the shop of drogas everywhere. He was like, what is this country? They're selling drugs like just like that? Like very weird.
Yeah, it's the same. Like Czech and Russian are similar. And when I went to Czech Republic, I saw the like the salon of ugliness, and I was like, why is it called like the salon of ugliness? It wouldn't be like a beauty salon, but like opposite words like mean the same thing.
The ugly salon. That's a new idea.
Like in Czech, ugliness is beauty, but in Russian it's like ugliness.
Oh, wow. It's like a falci amici.
Falsi amici, bravo.
How about you, Delash? Maybe you want to tell us a bit about your story.
Okay, how can I share my screen?
Yeah, I just I stopped the screen.
Okay, guess what am I going to talk about?
Pizza.
Well, I love pizza. That's why I gained like 5 kilos in Italy. Well, but I will talk about how to become a teacherpreneur.
Wow.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Does this word exist or you invented it?
Well, I Googled and like there's a website called Teacherpreneur, but I'm not sure like.
It's beautiful.
Well, somebody like made it up, I guess. It's not me who invented this word.
Okay.
Okay, but it's not commonly used. But and what do you think like about this topic? Like, what does it mean to be a teacherpreneur? Hello?
Who wants to answer?
Nobody. Okay, I'll explain. So basically, teacherpreneur is somebody who like is self-employed as a teacher. Yeah.
Yes.
So and and I will talk about like finding new clients on social media platforms. So let me share another picture with you. So I have a blog on Instagram.
Nice. It's in Russian?
Well, it's in Russian. So yeah, and I haven't presented myself. My name is Delyash. I come from Russia, and I was a volunteer in Matsuri about 1 year ago. I arrived there like in January, and I worked there, like not work but volunteered there for 2 months in Basilicata Link, and I taught English to Italians, and also helped with organizing these kinds of but offline. So it was really challenging for me to teach like adults and Italians at the same time. And during the first lesson, it was a real mess. I mean, like nobody listened, like almost like not many people listened to me carefully, or most of the people spoke Italian, and my Italian was really basic. And French kind of helped me to get used to Italian. So my blog is about learning languages, as you can see the flags. Yeah.
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 So it's written in Russian that I teach spoken English, French, and that I'm learning Italian, and that I volunteered in Italy, and that I am preparing for studying in the United States. There are also like in the circles you can see that like different like sections. Yeah.
Yep.
So the first one is about my preparation for studying for like master studies. The second is about some useful information. The third is about reviews, which were written by my students. And like the fourth one is about my story of learning English. Everything is in Russian, yeah. Well, and this is how I find students online. Like people write me in DMs and ask me for like English or French lessons. So does anybody wants to teach like English or any other language online?
I think Elliot wants.
Yes. Always say yes in volunteer.
Yeah, actually, I have also considered that because in France they have this website Super Prof, and yeah, I was thinking maybe to try it, but then I'm always afraid of, I don't know, on this on-screen exchange. I'm afraid it would be too awkward or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's why I never actually tried it. But
I do it a little bit, but I think it's hard. And I used to teach kids, and teaching kids online, it makes me feel very uncomfortable. So I don't know about you if you teach adults or kids, but what is your kind of students?
Well, my students are mostly adults, but I have students who are about like 9 or 10 years old. It's the teaching style must be quite different to different like age groups. So with kids, you have to like engage them like more, and they get really easily distracted, yeah. Or they have like to move more, like, or to have like more creative games, during the lessons, yeah. Or otherwise they will lose their interest. And adults are more like motivated, and they're more likely to like sit still, yeah. So 1 second. And and do you know any like information about personal branding? What does it mean?
Oh.
Do you have any ideas?
Your capacity of selling yourself to the others, selling in commas.
Yeah, you're not like literally selling yourself, of course, but like in order to be like teacherpreneur, you have to sell your skills, your knowledge to other people. For example, like when it comes to like branding, for example, here you will see the picture of one of the most famous brands of coffee, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess like most of the Italians hate it, yeah. Hello.
Starbucks.
Hate is like
Did you
Starbucks.
say eat or ate?
What do you mean?
You said most of Italian. I didn't get it. You say ate it or eat it?
Hate.
Oh yeah, I do agree with that.
Well, but anyways, it's one of the most like well-known like brands, yeah, in the world. And when people like buy coffee, do they actually buy coffee or something else?
The brand.
The brands.
Yeah, the brands. Yeah. For example, like maybe Italian coffee like is better than Starbucks, yeah, coffee.
I'd say yes.
But anyways, like when foreign tourists come to like Italy, they look for like Starbucks, yeah, because they are they know how it tastes, they know these brands, they have this like they trust these brands because they have already tried it, and that's what their like friends or like family members like drink. That's what they are used to drink, and they also feel cool like when they drink Starbucks. For example, in Russia, people feel cool. They feel like fashionable, trendy, yeah. And they don't buy like the drink itself, but they buy the feeling of being trendy or the feeling of being like more energized, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and so the same thing like works with like English language, or like English lessons, or with like French lessons or any other language teaching. If you want to like teach a language and another like you are looking for new students, what are they looking for in like what do they buy? Do they buy like English or French lessons, or do they buy something else?
They buy your image, they buy your look, they buy the way you acting.
I agree.
Yeah, that's right. That's like the first thing. And what else? Do you have any other ideas?
They buy maybe the fact that it looks cool to learn English, or it looks cool to learn French.
I agree.
Yeah, that's the second reason, right? There are more like it can be like more reasons they like.
And even the way you're doing it. I mean, I've been learning Slovene from some YouTubers, and I remember the first one, I didn't like it at all. Then I found this girl that was funny, and she put it in a way that was enjoyable to watch and to learn. So I learned it better from her than from the first one. So I think the way you put it on, it's something you that concerns your self-branding. It's very important.
Yeah, you are totally right. It's crucial to like to have like your like image on like on social media, or like it's important that like people see the way you interact with students, the way you like present information. Yeah. And so it's like kind of builds like trust. It builds like attraction. So these people are more likely to buy something from you when they see that you can be like their friends. Yeah,
you can stimulate their interest.
Like you can be like the first step to like your like relationship between like teacher and student. Yeah, it's the first step. Sometimes like when you're at school, you can't choose your teachers, right? You can't say, oh, this teacher is boring, or that teacher is like I don't know, it's not fair, yeah.
Yes.
Or not he or she doesn't engage like students enough.
I think that I think that when it's about learning languages, it's more, as I think it, for me, but I think it's the same for everyone. It's about passion. It's not about you go to school and you have to learn it. If you choose to learn a language, just because you want to. So if somebody stimulates you that much, it's very important. You don't want anything that is too much school-like. You want something that keeps you interested.
Yeah, we like I have heard a lot of stories like from Italians, and like Russian people have the same problem, because at schools we're not taught like in an engaging way, and not many people are able to speak the language. Like doesn't matter like whether like for English, French, or like yeah, it's a common problem everywhere. And when like people look for teachers online, and when they want to pay for it, they like look for teachers who are able to like do something different rather than like traditional like teaching. Yeah.
Yes, maybe the fact that you have experience abroad is very important to their eyes, and that's why you are like successful, because you are different from the people in your town, because you have different experiences.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, like people don't buy like lessons or English lessons, yeah, or French, whatever. They buy this opportunity to like get better job, or like study abroad, or what else? Like in Russia, for example, like the main like reason why people like study different languages is because they want like better life for themselves or for their kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's not about like simple curiosity. It's about opportunities. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and you can like get like higher salary when you're able to like communicate in English. That's like quite a rare skill among like population. So this way, like people want to like stand out in the job market. And so one second, do you know like what kind of social platforms can be used when when you want to build your like personal branding?
No,
what kind of like websites can you use?
Oh,
to learn English,
like for blogs or just for like
no, like as a teacher, like if you want to like build your personal branding, if you want to like create a social media like profile and attract new like clients, new students.
Normal socials like Facebook and YouTube, Instagram. And then you can start using Skype, but that's already lessons.
Yeah, that's the way of like that's another step. Like, but the first step is to attract new clients, new like students. Yeah, like through like YouTube, like Instagram, Facebook. What else?
I think it also depends on the age of your students. For example, if your students are adults, like 40 and above, you're not going to be using Snapchat, for example. So it also depends on the target, your student, your ideal of a student, the age of them. But yeah, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Telegram, there are a lot of them.
Oh, you know about Telegram? It's the Russian one.
Yeah, actually, I read it on your Instagram.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
You have a
I
friend.
just searched for your Instagram like a few seconds ago.
Oh.
There you are.
So yeah, I have like
an
Telegram and Instagram. I use these like social media platforms, but now I will show you. So these are the main like social media platforms to like in order like if you want to promote yourself as a teacher of foreign languages.
Yeah, but how do you start like promoting? Because I imagine there's so much concurrency around, and how can you make people really like come to your profile, like on all these social media, like because there's so many. Like, how do you start?
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Like I prepared some slides, some more slides. So I have experience only using Instagram. So we will talk more like about this platform. But as for YouTube and TikTok, nobody mentioned TikTok, right? Does anybody use it?
Elliot uses TikTok all the time.
No, it's not true.
It's true.
I think it's more like the younger generations, like 20 and stuff. They use TikTok a lot.
2005 maybe.
Yeah, that's true. like it depends on your like audience, like you said, you mentioned earlier, and YouTube is more like for general audience. It doesn't matter like how old this person is. Yeah, even like 50-year-olds are used to using YouTube, right?
Yes.
And do you know like what YouTube and TikTok have in common?
Videos?
Music and video.
Yeah, right. That's the first thing they have in common. Like the content is more about like videos. Yeah, you should post like videos there in order to like to create content. What else?
That things can go viral very quickly?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Like the main difference between like Instagram and YouTube and TikTok, that on Instagram videos are less likely, or like any content is less likely to get viral.
Yeah.
And that's why like I wrote that here, that your audience can't grow organically like on Instagram. You should like promote it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but it can, but like not really like fast, and like it will take years. And like during the first years of Instagram, like it could grow like organically, but now like Instagram started to monetize it, and yeah. But TikTok is the newest platform, and that's why like its creators haven't like monetized it yet that much as Instagram. So you're like, if you post a video, like, well, you can get like 5 likes, and then but if you will keep posting videos like every day, or even like 2 videos a day, like it can be like 15 seconds, then one of the videos will like go viral for sure. But you have to be like consistent.
Yeah, I have heard also that the difference between like Instagram and TikTok, that in TikTok you can really earn like real money, but in Instagram it's less possible to really learn money.
Yeah, like, and on YouTube also, like people who like earn like, for example, like 100,000 views, they earn money out of it. But it's not like you can't become millionaire like out of like 100,000 views. It's still like it can be like about like $80 per like month.
Oh.
So it's not like that's like that monetized. And the way people like make money, they sell their products, they sell their like services. That's how like they earn their living. People who are like work full time on the platforms. But as for teachers can use like these platforms to like promote their like services, right?
Yeah.
How
For
about
example,
Patreon? Patreon.
Yeah. There's a like website called Patreon, and you can create content, paid content.
Yeah.
For example, like for $5, like people will get some like more videos from you rather than like just on like the ones you post on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
But that's but Patreons don't like just come out of like nowhere. Yeah, like the ones who pay for your content. They come from
I think
platforms.
most of the people I know on Patreon are YouTube users.
Yeah, like this is the way like YouTubers monetize their content.
Yeah.
They post some additional materials on Patreon. But I have seen some teachers who use it too, like who like post, for example, teachers of Italian, like Italian native speakers who have like, when I was learning Italian, I came across such channels. Yeah, for example, top 5 Italian words like to use. Yeah, or how to learn Italian from zero. This is what like people like me who are like starting to learn Italian are looking for. And like if you're like considering teaching Italian, for example, you can create a YouTube channel where you can post videos about like such tips and tricks. Yeah. And like name it, like name the video like in accordance of like search, like think about what students are searching for, and like create content according to their like needs, right? But but here in Russia, like Instagram is like even more popular than YouTube, I think, and people use it like every day. in comparison with like YouTube. People like wake up and scroll their like feeds. Is it the same like in like Italy or in other like countries? Do like people use Instagram like in your countries?
Yes.
Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah.
Irene and Adeline, they use it a lot.
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Well,
Oh.
So yeah, okay. So everybody uses Instagram.
Yeah.
Like some people are even addicted to Instagram and they like keep scrolling. Yeah, that's why like it's good for like building your personal brand, because if you will post something, then and this person will be like following you, and then he or she will like get to know you better. Yeah. And when you have a YouTube channel, maybe they will come across one of your videos and then like stop watching. So each like of these platforms have like its advantages and disadvantages, right? Okay, and so it's like when it comes to like creating content on Instagram, it's important to write useful posts, videos, and stories, even stories like in order to like it's like a blog. Yeah, your page will be like a blog. So what kind of like useful like posts can you like write about learning languages? Can you give any examples?
What is what? Sorry.
Like post is like an article under your photo. Like don't simply like put like caption. Like life is beautiful, but you create like an article under your photo. Yeah. What kind of article can you like do you have? Can you like write about language learning or language teaching or something related to your like profession as a language teacher?
Maybe like 5 tips to learn blah blah blah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Maybe like fun facts. Fun facts.
Yeah, some fact. Maybe some personal experience related. Something that's related to the way you learn a language. Or maybe something funny. Yes, fun facts.
Also, like mistakes to avoid, like these are the top 3 things that you shouldn't do when learning a language or something like that. Like tips, but tips about things not to do.
Yeah, you're all right. And actually, these ideas can be also used in producing content on other platforms as well, like YouTube and TikTok. So these rules don't only apply to Instagram, but on YouTube you can like create videos, but on Instagram you can like write articles, right? And it's important also to like use your location. For example, if you're in Matera and you want to attract like more students from like the city you are in, it's important like to put your location on the photo, or tag some local pages, or put hashtags like Matera or Life in Matera, some like the most used hashtags in your area. This way people will see that you post content and that it's like useful, and they are like more likely to subscribe like organically. Yeah, they don't have to pay for it, but like at least like 10 people will be like will follow this way. And it's also important to like put your photos. Don't be afraid to like put your photos, because like those photos are more likely to be shown on Instagram, because they have this, like how is it called? This like algorithm. Yeah, algorithm.
They're more trustworthy. They're like more trustworthy. If it's like it's like more trustworthy, like they would trust you more if you put like your personal photos.
Yeah, they're more likely to
They're more
trust you
reliable.
more. Yeah, humans like other humans. That's yeah, like really basic. And when you see like when they see your face, they're like they get used to like how you look, and don't be afraid also to be funny or to like post photos where you jump. These like photos are more likely to be shown again, or like colorful photos, or somewhere where like you're doing something, not only pose, but also or maybe like some pictures from your travel can be also used as your photos. And that doesn't have to be like the most recent photo of yours. Here, here you can see one of my posts. It's the second picture, so you can use a carousel. Like you can put like the first picture of you, and then like some useful information on other slides as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So guess what is this post about? Because like the caption is written in Russian. Do you have any ideas? What is this post about?
Gameful learning?
Yeah, maybe.
Well,
is it the teaching through games?
The non-formal thing? Non-formal education?
Well, this post is about how to study for free online on some educational platforms, and to like take course of like Harvard and other like top universities like University of Michigan.
Oh.
Michigan.
Whoa.
And this information also might be like useful for you if you want to study for free and take courses online. You can use the platform called edX. It's shown on the picture. Yeah, and there are like various like courses about everything. You can learn like even Chinese there, or you can learn like about gameful learning, as on the slide, or about like nutrition or any other topics you're interested in, like literature, history, or even like coding. There are some courses about computer science as well. And this way you can like learn languages, like practice through learning something else. This is the post I shared, like, and it's like got many saves and likes and some comments. So this is like one of the examples of like useful posts you can like create, And there were people like who wrote me that, oh, I started like learning something on this platform, edX. Oh no! What is going on? Are you like sleepy or tired, or are you still quite informed?
It's cool, but I think the meeting will close at 9, I think. So I think there's only 8 minutes left.
Ah, okay. So as somebody has also said that it's like also important to use storytelling, For example, how like you can like describe how you learned language, or how you overcame language barrier, or how you had an impactful experience abroad. You can talk about your exchange project. This way, like people will be like, oh, I want to have the same experience. I want to do the same thing. They will be inspired. So you have like two goals: to inspire people and to give them useful content. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Cool. So as for promoting, like the first step of promoting your page is very simple. You can ask your friends and family members to promote your services, and don't be afraid, or don't be afraid to be judged by other people, like that someone will laugh, or like, oh, he's using Instagram for like promoting his or her services. Like at first it might like you might hear something like this, but then like these reactions will like disappear. It doesn't matter,
Yeah.
Is anybody like afraid of like sharing such content on Instagram, or like afraid of being judged by like friends or
I think
your
everyone.
grandma? Yeah, like I think most of the people are afraid to like do something like this. Or are you a blogger? Like being a blogger is like perceived like for some people as something shameful, but it's not shameful. What else? I'm quite lost in here. And here is one of the things I want to mention, that offer free lessons and consultations or courses. This way you will also attract new people.
Yeah. Do you do like demos when like consultation when you want to attract clients? Like for example, when I was in my school in China, we would have a demo first. So it's a free class demonstration for 20 minutes. And if the kids like it, then they sign up and then they have to pay for the next ones. Do you do something similar?
Yeah, I do the same. When I like look for new clients, I say I share on my stories. Oh, I'm looking for new like students. If you want to get rid of your language barrier, you just have like to like think about like the fears they have or the problems they have, and like and provide a solution. For example, I know that people are afraid to speak, and I say that I provide like lessons where we talk 95% of the time in English, and this way they can like get rid of their barrier. And like if you want to try it out, or if you want to like learn about my lessons, then like you can have like 30 minutes consultation.
Okay.
And some language practice as well. And this way we get to know each other, and it's also like important to know like how compatible we are if we share the same like views. For example, some people prefer traditional learning and they're not likely to like continue with learning with me. Yeah.
And
it's okay that like some people.
Sorry, I didn't hear.
It's okay if some people like don't like you. Like you can't be liked by everyone.
It's true. Do you do private classes or do you do group classes?
Hello?
Do you do private classes or do you do group classes?
I mostly do private classes, but I also organize speaking clubs. They are for like a monthly fee. And like, for example, like for like 10 euros, they can attend like weekly speaking clubs organized by me. And I also invite my foreign friends there. So this way they have like such like intercultural interaction.
Nice. Like a little tandem.
Sorry?
Like a little tandem.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But I have recently stopped organizing it, but like next year I would like to continue doing it. And so here, so you can like use this like templates to like brainstorm your ideas. For example, what can you offer? What are your strengths and preferences? For example, do you want to teach kids or adults? What is like the image of your like potential clients or students? Like, what is your target audience? Do you want to teach like foreigners, like Italian, your native language, or do you want to teach English to Italians, to your like to people who live near you? So what do you think? What are your preferences?
Depends.
Hello? Nobody wants to answer.
I've had my share with teaching English to Italians, and I just gave it up.
Was it too stressful?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, you have to be like really patient in order to like teach anything.
And they were older people. They were not kids. They were older people. So it was kind of stressing.
You know,
yeah, that's why like I chose teaching people of my age, because like I can connect to them more, and we have similar values, similar interests.
Yeah, I think it's also interesting to teach a language to someone who is not from the same culture and nationality as you,
EA.
Because you tend to be biased when you know how the person is going to think, and it can be frustrating. But when it's someone completely new, like teaching Chinese kids, I don't know how they think. So you don't have expectations in your mind, and maybe it's you have more flexibility and less frustration. Maybe.
Guys, I have to go, so I'm saying bye to you.
Yeah. I think we will all have to go anyway because the meeting will end in 2 minutes. So Dailash, maybe you have some closing words. Bye, Simone.
Bye.
Buonanotte.
Buonanotte.
So that's it. I hope it was useful.
Yes.
Yeah. So we have like 1 minute left.
Do you mind if I share your Instagram on the? We have a group chat here in Matera for the volunteers and the Tandem. Do you mind if I share your Instagram profile with them in case they are interested in looking at what you do?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, cool. It's good for you too.
Ciao Zane, ciao Deliash.
Ciao, ciao, ciao. Thank you very much for being here, listening. So hope to see you next time.
Sure.
Yeah.
See you.
Ciao.
Thank you, girls, for joining. Sorry if I took so much time. I didn't notice, and I hope you had enough time to say what you
No worries.
share.
Yeah, no worries. It's always hard to really predict how much time it will take, because when you speak, you just, for me, it's also like this. So
Yeah, I speak and I don't look at the time, and then I realize,
exactly.
oh, fuck. But it was really interesting, and you can join next time if you want, just as participant. It would be nice.
Actually, I would like to join. I really liked it, so it's nice. Let me know when you do it every Thursday, right?
Yes.
You do it. Okay.
Yeah. And sometimes we do like parties and game nights together with Madi and Sherban and Adeline, Irene, Elliot. So if you want to take call and do video call and join us in our parties.
Send me the link. Send me the link to the Zoom. I will be. Okay. Bye everyone. Ciao a tutti.
Good night.
Buona serata.
Buona serata a tutti.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Impostor.